for today's episode, I am turning the tables na this time ako naman yung magtatanong sa mga media friends natin. Yeah, so my special guests for today are some of my closest media friends. Madami pa sila, kaso lang kailangan ko lang pumili ng 3 para kumasya kami sa frame na to. So, first of all, at hindi to by age, we have Tito Norman.
Hello everyone. Kumusta po kayo? By age, this is by beauty, by age, or by wrinkles, number of wrinkles, I believe. But
complex
hello po
yung criteria natin today.
Yeah, good day po sa inyo lahat, and we're so happy to have this 4x4, 4x1 with Nicole.
4x4.
And
to give you some introduction as well, kasi si Tito Norman, siya yung unang nakilala ko talaga na pageant blogger, pageant media sa industry nung nag-start pa lang ako. And I feel like you're very close to the girls as well. And sobrang kinikilig kami every time he does the write-ups for us. Pero kinakabahan kami kung he does yung hot picks na for us. And then up next, sino yung next natin? Sino mas pretty sa'yo, Tito Norm?
Oh, I see. Again, go by age, Nicole. Go by age.
Go by age. We have Voltaire!
Hi, Nicole. How are you? Hi, guys. Just to let you know, this is the first interview that I've entertained only because you're the one who, invited.
Ang lakas mo, Nicole. Wow. Ang lakas.
Exclusive to.
Iba.
Oo, iba talaga. Iba.
So, si Voltaire naman, medyo recent ko naman siya nakilala. And he writes for Rappler exclusively for pageantry, correct?
Yes. And a little bit
we have
lifestyle.
A little bit of everything.
Yes.
Yeah. And at the end of the day kasi, parang kami lang din yung nagkikita pag kami mga pageant-related events, which is all the time. So, girls, be nice to them. Kasi kayo lang din magkakasama at the end of the day. So, up next, we have, of course, you guys know her. She's guested in my channel before. It's Tita Lavinia, the meanest tita in social media.
Grabe. Parang hindi naman.
Totoo yun.
Mean talaga. Hindi totoo yan. Hindi totoo yan. Hindi. Hola, everyone. And thank you, Nicole. This is so strange. Pero sige, push tayo. I love seeing Sir Norman. I love seeing Sir Voltaire. At ngayon, nandito na tayo. So, parang baliktad naman pala ang setup natin.
Yes. Oo. Okay, so pinatawag ko kayo. Pinatawag!
My God!
Nasa na yung aking mga quarantine pass?
Oo.
Pinatawag
katakot, may mandato.
Itong round table na to because parang bakit kami laging ini-interview lalo na this quarantine na I feel like, alam niyo naman guys na yung YouTube channel ko, it focuses really on giving tips for future contestants or even the non-contestants, yung mga gusto lang mag-public speaking. So I feel like ang dami kong gustong itanong din sa inyo sa media. Given na kayo yung pinaka-exposed sa mga girls, kayo talaga yung nakakalapit sa kanila. And ang dami nyong hindi sinasabi in your articles na nangyayari behind the scenes na I know other people can learn from.
Uwi na ako. Ay, nasa bahay pala ako. Parang mali yata yung inoo ko ngayon papasplok yata ako.
At the end of the day, yung gusto nating goal is for girls to really get to pick up na kung ano yung pwede nilang i-improve on na, ay shucks, ito pala yung nakikita ng media, ito yung na-identify, ito pala yung kailangan ko improve. Kasi I believe in your all-seeing eye, guys. So let's do this.
Go!
Let's go.
So, yung first question ko, parang it's more of, can you share sa amin naman what goes on pagka nag-gather together kayo sa events ng mga pageants? Kasi kami may BTS kami, pero alam ko kayo may BTS din kayo. Can you take us through your sort of media, blogger, pageant na routine?
Well,
Voltaire.
When any of us will see each other, yung unang mga tinatanong, gutom ka ba? Kumain ka na ba? Ano kayong pagkain?
Sabihin ko sana yan, Sir Voltaire.
Because a lot of times, you go from one event to another, and sometimes you don't have time to eat, and then you're like, oh, I should go there earlier, kakain ako sa, like at this restaurant before going there. But then, the traffic, and then you get there, you're like exhausted, but then you have to, be on point, and then parang nag-iintay ka, Tapos the buffet is like back there.
Oh my God, that's like me.
That's what happened before we even get into the pageant stuff.
So, organizers, make sure na masarap yung inihanda nyo sa buffet para maganda yung reviews din sa inyo.
No, I agree.
True.
Yeah, I totally agree with Voltaire. Every time we would attend events, the first thing that we would do normally is to find the best available seat for Pageant Media so that we can already put our bags and parang territory na namin yon. We get for the best shots, best angles. After that, we patiently wait for the waiters to start taking out the platters of food. Of course, well, kami kasi nobody among the three of us would be the type to take photos of the food. Hindi kami yung tipong so, hinihintay lang namin na okay. Hindi ko kasi style talaga magkuha ng litrato. But the minute we are fed, oh my God, ayan na, buong-buo na ang aming puso't kaluluwa in covering the entire event. It could be press presentation, it could be a preliminary or whatever. Then, pag busog daw ang tiyan, ang media ganado to cover. Yun.
We sit together ba?
As much as possible.
Okay.
We see each other like magnets.
The thing is, my very first event, both Nicole and Tito Norman were there. It was a PLDT luncheon in SNX for Miss Universe.
Yes. Miss Universe 65th.
And I gravitated towards Tito Norman because Tito Norman bigla. Because I was like, oh, like I recognized him. I actually go to his blog and I would, update myself there. So initially, like I would be asking yung veterano.
Oh my God.
The season.
Pero Nicole, usually may mga groups na rin kami. Kami-kami lang naman It's a small group.
Akala niyo hindi ko napansin as a beauty queen.
Kami-kami lang. Pero I also have to splok na within our group, meron mga known personalities na nagka-clash with each other. Like, parang every month, meron silang ibang kaaway. Tapos hindi na rin kami sobrang updated.
Oh my God, Voltaire, what else is new, Voltaire? What else is new?
Pero magkakasama pa rin kami. Pero ang funny kasi, na-identify na namin. Na-identify na namin yung mga taong every month may flavor of the month na kaaway.
Totoo yun. But we just try to avoid.
Namin.
Oo. Para walang friction with them.
Yeah, and I love the three of you kasi you're the more congenial ones talaga. Yung, alam ko kahit na medyo may inis kayo sa iba, parang you stay really decent.
Yes.
And napoprove nyo rin yung seniority nyo in a way, diba? So that's what I really appreciate. And then, that's how I tend to gravitate to you as media. Diba? Na parang napapansin ko kasi na, okay to kausap tuwing ini-interview ako. I like your questions, may pinanggagalingan, hindi yung... Kasi may mga certain media, honestly, na parang gusto lang itrap yung girls or gusto lang throw question to embarrass them. And that's the worst kind. So, minsan naawa din ako for the girls. Lalo na media peeps, diba? Parang please shorten your questions. Yung concise, hindi yung super haba. Yung
kinuha mo na yung airtime
ng konteksto. Oo, tapos yung question sa huli. Tapos yung girl parang, wait, so, ano yung
confused.
Gusto mo sagutin ko? Oo.
Ay, parang may pinasatamaan.
Sino yan?
Kaya
ko mag-name drop ka na.
Wala akong blacklist in my mind. Pero, pagka kaming beauty queens yung nag-uusap, ano siya, like, may shared experience din kami sa ganon. Na minsan parang, kakabahan din kami kung baguhan kami, tas press con, gano'n, na parang hala, si ganito yung magtatanong sa akin. Ganon. And then, kung medyo gusto namin yung naging experience namin with yung ibang media, tas sila magtatanong sa amin, ma-excite kami kasi alam namin mag-shine kami. Kasi you guys help us shine also eh. And I know na kung medyo mahal nyo talaga yung girls, medyo pinupush nyo kami towards our strength. And that's good media practice as well.
it's not just about being a media person, but just being a good person to begin with. Because like whenever I go to the event and I approach the candidates or the women or even the organizers, your point is not my point or my purpose being there. It's not about me. It's about the people that I'm covering. And that's what I always try to have that foundation. And I always remind myself when I'm making questions, like, is this something that's been asked them 10 million times that ayaw na nilang sagutin or it's boring? What questions would bring out their personality? And, you know, a lot of times, in fact, there was a pageant that asked me to profile all of the girls, all the candidates, because my brand sort of has always been something where I bring out more the personality rather than talking about their advocacy, because I always tell the girls, before people will listen to you, they have to like you and to relate to you.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
Ako
right.
naman, Nicole, I'm not a trained journalist kasi. I stumbled upon this only because nagtititas of pageantry ako, and then I started getting invites na up until I realized na nagko-cover na pala ako. So I want to make sure that when I'm there, because, I mean, let's face it, a lot of these organizers, they pay you a certain amount of money, honorarium yun. And I want to make sure na kahit na anong amount yan, ginagawa ko yung trabaho ko, na hindi ako nakakahiya for the titas of pageantry brand. So I don't go there na tinatamad or like, it helps if you're polite, if you're courteous, because a lot of the places that we go to are like the hotels or the restaurants as well. So maganda kapag ang foundation mo, not necessarily journalistic, pero yung foundation mo is yung makaka-relate yung tao sa'yo kasi magalang ka, maayos ka.
Exactly. Yeah.
Ako rin naman kasi, Nicole, I'm not a trained journalist either. I just happen to love writing. Tapos, I love pageantry as well. Pinaghalo ko yung dalawa, and there you go. Now, pagdating sa mga pag-questions sa girls, para ako may pagka-sadist eh. Pagdating sa, gusto ko pinapahirapan yung girls. Pero at the same time, gusto ko rin nag-ask ng question that hasn't been asked of them before.
Yes.
Something that makes them think.
And we do crave for that. We crave for that.
Yeah. Kasi ang sarap-sarap manood na isang girl who answers a question, thinking on her feet and giving you very spontaneous replies. Ang sarap-sarap makinig ng ganoon. Instead of hearing something, a practiced paragraph or phrase or something na talagang you've heard before. Kaya I always like girls like you, for example. Yeah, when I ask you a question. Oh, yun. Like you. Oh, it's a challenge to ask you questions actually, because I know the indications in your face if the question sounds like what kind of a question is that?
Yung pala yun.
Oh, you can
basa ka, Nicole.
You can easily tell if the girl is interested in what you're talking about or asking or not. Oo. Siyempre pag mga bagito, yung mga bagito, siyempre, you cannot really give them the kind of questions I would ask you. Like I would ask you how come you're wearing that revealing dress this online discussion, Nicole? What are you trying to prove to us? Or something like
There's nothing to reveal. People there, I think, lower. Grabe. I feel offended.
Minaka-offend
Pero
ba?
thank you so much for your insights. Kasi, guys, hindi naman parang freedom of the press din to. Alam ko parang media is free to challenge us ladies. And we love being challenged. We relish in it. Pero the sad reality in pageantry also is that meron talagang ikaw ma-encounter na mga tao or press na talagang gigisahin ka, na minsan nagiging traumatic siya for the girls.
Yes.
When you're interviewing all the girls, diba, ako kasi may pet peeves ako. So, kayo, what would you like the girls to change in terms of pag in-interview kayo na media? Because kadalasan kasi, yung mga girls, laging naka-Q&A mode. So that's what I'm trying to break down, na parang hindi laging ganon, girls. Kailangan chill lang din naman. Oo.
Yeah.
I feel very strongly about that. Because every time I would interview them, I'd say, the first thing I would say is, please do not tell me why you joined this pageant, and I don't want to hear about your advocacy. All of you want to save the world, want to save children, find a cure for cancer and HIV/AIDS. But that's not what I want to know about you. I want to know who you are. And then based on their bio or what I've read about them, or even just their body language at that moment, parang I'll play off of that eh. So kunwari, alam ko, like, the girl grew up in the province, like, in a rural area. But after, like, so what was it like? Ano yung mga laro nyo nung bata? You know, like, try to bring out the heart in them. Not everybody is like a Nicole Cordoves in terms of interview.
Guys!
My mind, and, you know, it might as well be interviewing like a world leader. Like, I can throw out a tough questions if it's you. But there are some girls that can't handle that, and you don't want them feeling deflated, even just in those interviews. You want to push them, so at least if they're able to talk, if they're able to express themselves, that helps them going into the pageant and into the final. So I just hope that with the girls, I always remind them, just be who you are.
Okay, so since you guys touched on advocacies na rin, kasi alam natin na parang may bigla ang surge, di ba? Since the time of PIA, I would say, na biglang lahat parang naging requirement na yung advocacies, pero it's kind of an unspoken requirement as well. Tapos, ano nyo doon? Ano yung take nyo doon? Kasi may times na sinasabihan ko rin yung girls na don't make it sound so much like a template kasi there's so many angles you can discuss about your advocacy, so many stories to tell. Pero girls also tend to like say it as it is. Kasi syempre, understandable naman, you kind of memorize your spiel para prepared ka lang, lalo na if you're not used to public speaking. So, anong tips niyo for the girls? Kasi kayo yung unang sasabihan namin about that eh. Kasi yung nangyayaring trend ngayon, when you ask them questions, diretsong advocacy eh. So, bigyan niyo ng tips naman yung girls natin.
Ako kasi, I'd rather that the girls have authentic advocacies or whatever it is that they want to fight for or to focus on. I always discourage ladies from having advocacies that have been shared to them by their handlers or the ones who train them. Kasi it's not them anymore. It's not real. The minute they talk about it, they will only deliver rehearsed or memorized messages. Kasi if you really don't have any advocacy to share, perhaps it's high time to look into yourself and find that one value that will make you medyo veer towards a particular cause or concern that you can talk about for hours. Yung ganon. This was asked during the launch of another pageant, and somebody asked, how can you guarantee the authenticity of the advocacy of your candidates? So, ang sagot nga nung tinanong is that there is really no way to authenticate their advocacy. But the minute they open their mouth and talk about it, you can tell if it's something that it is deeply rooted in their personality or if it's something that they just formulated for the purpose of the pageant. So, ang tip ko talaga doon is do not have an advocacy that you are not willing to talk about very openly and from the heart. There.
Ako from an admin side, I think a lot of these girls forget that some of the admins talagang naghahalongkat. They would really trace kung kailan ka nag-start ng advocacy na ganyan. Kasi kahit na sabihin mong well-trained sila, like if they open their mouth, they say all the right things, pero kapag magtitingin-tingin tayo ng resibo and we go back and backtrack your social media platforms, tapos nakikita namin na wala naman pala talaga doon, nahuhuli sila. So, I end up maybe sitting or standing in a venue and nakaganon na parang, alam ko na yan girl, bago lang yan. Pero sige, try pa rin. Baka naman nagbago yung isip niya and baka naman she tried to learn more. Kasi, Tito Norms, mas gusto ko rin kasi yung hindi ka masyadong ma-advocacy kung talagang wala. Because a lot of these organizations, sila naman din ang pipili ng causes din for you. And in most cases, kapag nanalo ka, hindi mo rin talaga mapupush yung causes mo because mauuna yung causes ng organization. So, mas mabuti sa akin na receptive ka kesa yung laban na laban ka tas wala naman palang laman. Wala ring receipt.
Voltaire, spill the tea.
Well, what I've noticed is a lot of the girls dun sa ano pa lang, national pageant, all of a sudden may mga advocacy videos na sila na pang international level.
Yeah, that's true. Na nakaka-pressure. I'm kind of worried for their budget. Kasi as a candidate, hindi kami sumisweldo.
Yeah, well, actually, one of the things I always remind the girls, whether it's about spending on your videos or your gowns or your clothes, sabi ko, hindi, pagdating nyo naman, let's say in Binibini, you're going to be wearing your jag jeans and your Binibini tank top. So don't even worry about your outfit of the day and stress about it. And then, because you're just going to post it on your Instagram. I mean, it's great if it helps boost their confidence. But more important, like, I think the root problem for the topic that we're talking about with advocacy and that lack of authenticity boils down to the girls have to do their homework. And by homework, I mean they have to get to know who they are, what they're about, what their dreams are, what their purpose in life is. They need to really take a very good look at themselves before going into the pageant, much more than picking out the outfits, the hair, the style. It boils down to knowing who you are. Because at the end of the day, the pageant is going to be about you. You're going to be the representative, and it's a job interview essentially. And regardless of what your resume is, that doesn't matter because the moment you're in front of people, what needs to come out is your personality, your values, and what you're all about. And I think that's the key to avoid any of the cliches of talking about advocacy. I always remind them, the reason why you have to know yourself is the only thing that judges are asking about is about you. They're not going to be asking any like really difficult questions. It boils down to who you are. Nobody can sell that better than you, and nobody knows yourself better than you. So I think we should focus on that.
I totally agree with you guys. Pero just to play devil's advocate, I understand the pressure to look for an advocacy. Lalo na kasi besides the three of you, may ibang media din na tatargetin naman yung girls na bakit wala siyang advocacy. So yun naman yung sinasabi ko. And girls, I won't pressure you into like thinking din na wala kang advocacy before this, kaya wag ka na lang gumawa nun. It's okay. Akin parang I'm more forgiving towards that na kung mahanap mo naman pala sarili mo sa advocacy na yan. Pero yung condition ko lang is once you get into it, give it your all. Make sure na you did your homework, that you're really immersed with the community. And kadalasan kasi yung mistake din ng girls is alam mong they don't do their homework sa advocacy nila if you still hear their own voice and not the voice of the people that they are helping. Alam mong insights pa rin nila yun. And there's nothing new. Na parang, wait, may iba, teka, privilege yan masyado yung insight mo. You can't relate to that.
Yun.
So I know it's not authentic. So huli ka girl. So it's hard to stumble into your advocacy kasi it takes real effort to look for one. You have to put yourself in that situation. Alam mo yon para to be kind. It's effort. It's an effort eh. Hindi siya yung something that just kicks in na emotion, 'di ba? So okay lang sa akin yon, pero please do your homework. Yun lang from Ate Nicole. Wow.
Ate na talaga.
Although very valid points then from our media practitioners. Wow. Kasi syempre at the end of the day, media ka man or hindi, people always crave for authenticity and never ever use someone else for your own gain. Yun lang yun. Diba? There. Okay. Naging malalim na agad yung usapan natin. Girls na lang natin to ng slide. This time, I want to delve into the chichi naman. So, sino? I want like, talaga, names.